Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. This is KTN Weekend at 1. My name is Ian Ofula. Now, we begin in the North Rift where President Uhuru Kenyatta is currently officiating a fundraiser for the AIC Kapsabet in Nandi County. The president is accompanied by Deputy President William Ruto and a host of leaders from the region. This visit comes at a time when two leaders are faced with the challenge of selling their Jubilee Alliance party in that region, which is also the view of, I'll take that again, that is said to be the new party rather suspiciously. It also comes at a time when the Deputy President is battling a political situation within his own URP, as Bomet Governor Isaac Ruto continuously disagrees with him even in public. Our reporter Mercy Kandiye is following the developing events and now joins us by way of phone. Mercy, what is currently happening and what is the message being passed at this time?
Yes, Ian. The Deputy President has just finished his speech. Before he was talking, Senators Kipchumba Murkomen and governors from this region, Jackson Mandago of Uasin Gishu County and Cleophas Lagat of Nandi County, were just, airing their views politically, saying that they are behind the Jubilee leadership 100%. In fact, they're telling the Deputy President, William Ruto, to concentrate on development issues, assuring him of the unity here. Remember, Ian, there has been a lot of what has been termed as the rift in the Rift Valley, where some leaders within URP have been coming out to differ with Deputy President William Ruto. So William Ruto, even as he finished his speech, he says that as the Jubilee leadership, they remained focused. He's saying that he's contented with being the Deputy President, just assuring the voters in Nandi County that he will support the President even come 2017, saying that he would need the same support if he indeed vied for presidency after the general election of 2017, which he says is not negotiable. Telling his people which he terms as noise, what he's saying is just makelele. He's saying that they should all meet at the ballot box, that is in 2017. Ian?
Well, Mercy, you've had a chance probably to talk with the people around there. What are their sentiments towards this visit?
Ian, it's actually a church fundraiser at the ICC Kapsabet. So people here just, in as much as it's a church event, there's a clergy here. People, there's not been any in terms of booing or cheering, just all political remarks being received with a lot of claps. And development issues also. Remember, Ian, that this is a farming region. People in Nandi County and Uasin Gishu County are known to be farmers of tea and maize. Some good news, however, they've been told that 100,000 bags of CAN for top dressing for their maize has already been imported. So yes, in as much as there's a lot of politics, the people here would are also receiving a lot of good news in terms of their agriculture. Ian?
And maybe finally, Mercy, I know that the president hasn't talked yet, but what are people expecting from what he's going to say?
Ian, as I'm talking to you, the president is currently speaking, and from what I hear, he has started off his speech with development issues on that as a leadership of Jubilee, they are focusing on what they have called development. They want to better the lives of Kenyans. So yes, we'd be keen to hear if indeed the president will also, join in the politics that has been rocking the newly formed JAP, the new party. But our viewers should, keep it KTN for more information, even as this unfolds. Ian?
Thank you very much, Mercy. I'll let you to listen in on what the president has to say. Of course, you shall be giving us an update on that story later on in our subsequent bulletins. Elsewhere, 3 people were killed in Wajir following an attack by unidentified people. The attackers broke into the house of a local chief in Bula Jogo location. It comes in the wake of a recent curfew order. The attackers also escorted the chief of Houthon area.
Sasa sisi tunaona hapa miujiza kubwa sana. Serikali inatuua sisi au ni nani anatuua sisi? Sisi tunataka kujua hiyo.
And on a rather unfortunate incident, one person is confirmed dead and 2 others in critical condition after an early morning accident in Total area, which is 1 kilometer from Narok town. The accident occurred at around 6 a.m. and involved a lorry which was ferrying posts towards Narok town and a saloon car headed towards Bomet. This comes a few days after another accident that took place in Nairo area near Ntulele, which claimed 3 lives.
Tumeshitananga Bishop.
Kwa kama saa 12:15 hivi nikasikia sauti kubwa pa, kwenda kufungua geti nikapata gari ya kwanza hii ya pande ya chini kama inarara. Mtu analia huko, saidia. Tena nikakimbia kuchukua sururu tufungulie hiyo mlango, maana ilikuwa na furu na Narok. Kwenda kuangalia pande ya juu tena nikapata ngine imeanguka huko. Mtu ameanguka chini, amegongwa ametolewa ndani ya gari ako chini. Kwenda kuangalia ndani tukaona huko kuna mtu tena huko ndani. Ndio wasaidizi wakaja tukasaidiana, kafuta hiyo mabati, katoa mwanamke pande ya juu.
Na pengine tungetaka sana hospitali isaidiwe zaidi, kwa sababu tunaona kama hali ya kutibia watu katika hospitali mimi sijaridhika na sio nzuri kabisa. Inaonekana watu hawajui maana ya emergency na kutekea watu mapema.
Also, the increment of money to county governments has provoked mixed reactions from elected leaders on who should be responsible for the funds. Nominated Senator Beatrice Elachi says that the allocation of money to the counties was intended to ensure more funds were availed at grassroots level to promote devolution. Her sentiments were shared by West Pokot Senator Professor John Nyongapo and Governor Simon Kachapin and Kapenguria Member of Parliament Samuel Moroto.
Kwa miaka 50 ukitembea nyumbani unaonako magari. Najua kule Western hatukuwa tunaona. Tulikuwa tunaona kidogo. Na Pokot mlikuwa mnaona? Si ndio mnaanza kuonja? Sasa mwambie mheshimiwa, jambo la muhimu ni kuhakikisha pesa ikuje nyumbani na ifanye kazi vizuri. Na sisemi ikuje pia governor haribu, hapana.
Senator ni oversight of money ambayo imeenda county government. Wakasahau kutenga pesa na wakampa uwezo wa jumbe ya National Assembly. Kumbe hawa pia hawataki hii nyumba ngine iive vizuri. Sisi tuliambia senators, mheshimiwa senator atakuja hapa. Tulianza kama magavana tukasema sisi ni familia ya devolution. Tukiwa Mombasa tukasema hatuchii hawa National Assembly kama ni kweli ni marafiki ya karibu sana. Sasa tukakutana Mombasa tukasema tushikane sisi kwa sababu sisi ni devolution ndio imetuleta sahihi.
Let us now cross borders a bit. And approximately 116,000 people, the vast majority of whom are children, have fled violent clashes in Burundi to neighboring countries including Tanzania, Rwanda and Uganda. This number is expected to rise as the situation in Burundi remains volatile. Nancy Kachungira reports on the Burundian refugee situation in Tanzania.
They make the journey by boat. Nearly 47,000 refugees fleeing violence back home in Burundi have arrived in Tanzania, most of them gathering at the Kagunga reception area on the border with Burundi before being transported by bus to the Nyarugusu camp 150 kilometers away. Most of them are children.
This is largely a crisis facing children. 83% of the population on the move that had been registered in Tanzania are children. You would know that with children, they have vulnerability to many things. The dislocation itself, We have at least 1,200 children who have been screened here at the stadium, who are unaccompanied or separated from their parents. The trauma that they face, not only from dislocation also, but the other challenges that are associated with a refugee environment.
Mariama Kwizera is at Lake Tanganyika Stadium in Kigoma, a transit point between the Kagunga reception area and the Nyarugusu camp. She has been mother and father to her 2 siblings since their parents were killed by militias 2 years ago. When the violence in Burundi escalated, she felt there was no choice but to leave.
I don't think I will ever return to Burundi. Even if I went back to Burundi, I'm sure that whatever we left behind is gone. It is better to stay in Tanzania for the rest of our lives.
Mariama is only 16 years old. Nyarugusu camp hosts 65,000 Congolese refugees, but with the arrival of 35,000 Burundians, there are now 100,000 people in a camp built for 50,000. The sudden increases in population in Kigoma have resulted in dire conditions, very limited access to clean water, poor sanitation, and inadequate access to basic healthcare services. But you wouldn't know it from watching the children run and play, seemingly oblivious to the myriad challenges surrounding them. The latest one, a cholera outbreak. More than 4,000 cases and 32 deaths have already been reported, but aid agencies are optimistic as the number of new cases begins to fall. A mock fight between 2 young boys in Nyarugusu camp makes for an unsettling parallel of a much more serious situation in the home they have fled. Even as an uneasy calm returned to Burundi, the conditions that precipitated the coup persist. President Nkurunziza has urged refugees to return home, but for most of them, their fear of war is still stronger than their hope for peace. And so the buses into Kigoma continue to fill up. Nancy Kachingira, KTN.
Thank you for that story, Nancy. We do hope that peace will prevail back in Burundi. Now, we're taking a short break, but we'll be back with the sports news among other items. Don't go too far. Welcome back. Now, gospel artists and fans thronged the Kasarani Indoor Arena last evening to witness the annual spectacle that is the Groove Awards. The event, characterized by glitz and glamour, a variety of performance from both the local and continental gospel artists, was not shy of the hype expected for such an event. KTN's Timothy Otieno reports on the night's biggest winners and losers. Take a look.
It was a night that lived up to its billing. The 10th annual Groove Awards was going down, and not even the rainy Nairobi weather would dampen the people's spirit. It was time to celebrate a decade of the awards' existence and appreciate the gains made in the gospel industry. The evening kicked off with Bahati's performance of his hit single, Lover. And then it was time for the best of the best in gospel music to receive recognition. Legendary singer Jemima Thiongo was honored as the Songwriter of the Year, a category determined by the Groove Awards board.
Everything that I have done in the gospel industry, I've done it because I want you and I want everyone else to know there is a God who can never be defeated.
And one after the other, the night's winners majestically claimed their acknowledgements for the support given to them by the gospel fans. The award ceremony that started 10 years ago has grown beyond borders, with categories such as the Southern African Artist of the Year and the West African Artist of the Year that was won by Joyous Celebration and Sinach respectively.
Barua by Bahati.
But perhaps the biggest winner of the night was young Kevin Bahati, who scooped 4 awards at the event. the 21-year-old was moved to tears after scooping the Song of the Year award for his hit single Barua.
Yote pokea sifa, moyoni umefanya. Maurana si kawaida, Kenya wakanidata.
He also walked away with the most prestigious award of the night, the Male Artist of the Year.
Kitu mimi naweza promise. Ana promise mbele ya world. God sitaikuacha.
Lois Kim won the Female Artist of the Year.
10 years ago, in Gikomba Market, chagua mbili, chagua tatu. But here I am 10 years ago. This is all about God.
The night was also not short of surprises, with little-known Sarang Kuntile beating out Christina Shusho and Solomon Mkubwa to bag the East and Central Africa Artist of the Year. Willie Paul and Size 8 both had 4 nominations but failed to pick up an award. Renowned gospel artist Eunice Njeri also failed to scoop an award despite being nominated in 4 different categories. The event honored Karanja Kimwere and Pete Odera for their outstanding contributions to the industry. The Groove Awards Board promised to keep the flames of evangelism through celebration of gospel music alive over the next generation. Timothy Otieno, KTN.
Congratulations to all the winners of the Groove Awards. Let's move to matters health now. Health workers have added their voice to the ongoing controversy over the implementation of the 38 billion shillings medical equipment supply by the national government. The workers say the move by the government is commendable, but that it requires a complementary deployment of trained personnel. They decry the lack of personnel, saying that over 6,000 trained medical personnel are yet to be absorbed by the government.
Unemployment is rife in our fraternity. With a total of 7,000 biomedical engineers in this country, those in employment are barely 1,000. So we have 6,000, an army of 6,000 out there still looking out for employment. We really need to ask the governors. The number 420 was before devolution. After devolution, we do not have the statistics as yet because each county is doing their own thing. We would like to have all the biomeds absorbed.
Let's go to sports now. Vivian Cheruiyot continued with her fine form as she won the 1500-meter race during the Kenya Police Service Championships that came to a close today at the Kasarani Stadium. Richard Kiplagat and Elgay Nelianya reigned supreme in the 800 meters as Rebecca Chesir won the 10,000 meters race.
The gloomy Saturday morning weather did not dampen participants at the Kenya Police Track and Field Stars from lighting up the Kasarani Stadium. Despite world champion Eunice Sum and David Rudisha missing from the 800-meter competition, new stars rose to the challenge. Richard Kiplangat beat stiff competition to chase the tape in 1 minute 48.2 seconds in the men's 800-meter race. Hilary Mayo was second while Geoffrey Rono finished third. Eglin Alianya was crowned the winner in the women's race in a time of 2 minutes 5.2 seconds.
I just graduated from junior last year.
In the 1,500-meter category, Vivian Cheruiyot, a 5,000, 10,000 meter specialist, continued with her sparkling form as she prepares for the Diamond League by winning the finals battle, crossing the line in 4 minutes 14.7 seconds. Irene Chelangat and Betty Njeri finished in second and third places respectively. Joseph Kitur beat competition from experienced Josephat Bet to win the 5,000-meter final, clocking 12 minutes 57.5 seconds.
Ya maana TC ni to make the team to World Championship. That's the main thing. So I want to say I'm really happy.
In other races of the day, Rebecca Chesir won the 10,000 meters category ahead of experienced Isabella Ochichi and Mercy Chemutai. Brian Gatura won the 100 meters category as well as Millicent Ndoro.
And that story by Robinson brings us to a close this afternoon. Do continue keeping it KTN. Of course, we'd like to know what is happening around you. Our Twitter handle is @KTN Kenya. My name is Ian Ofula. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.